Hi, welcome to your tone class. We're going to make this a really quick one today, focusing mostly on our core. We have Alyssa with us today who will be demoing and doing the class alongside of you. And we're going to just get started laying down on your mats, legs super long, arms long beside you. We're just going to take a few deep breaths here. We're using no props, no equipment, and we're just going to take a few deep breaths, inhaling deeply, exhaling slowly. Feeling where your body is heavy on the mat. Maybe you feel heavy through the hips and tailbone, heavy through the back of your head and shoulder blades, even through your heels. Just letting everything melt into the mat for another moment here. Take a deep breath in, fill all the way up. And let it all go nice and slowly. Beautiful. One more like that. Deep inhale all the way, filling your lungs to the top. Exhaling fully, letting everything go. Anything that came before this today or that you might have on your mind that's coming after this, let that all go. We just have a few minutes here today and we're going to make the most of it. So when you're ready, if your eyes are closed, you can open them up. Bend both knees, place your feet flat on the mat, just a little bit wider than hip width apart. We're going to start with our warm-up, just getting our pelvis moving a little. So think about your tailbone, notice where it is heavy on the mat. And start to tip your tailbone up towards the ceiling slowly, and then tilt your tailbone the opposite direction, pushing it down towards the mat. We're going to move through that a few times, so keep going at your own pace. Notice as you tip your tailbone up towards the ceiling, you might feel your low back flatten into the mat. And as you switch it and push your tailbone down towards the mat, you might feel your low back start to arch a little bit more, creating some space back there. 2 more this way, breathing in as you go, exhaling in the other direction, and pausing somewhere exactly in the middle of those 2 exaggerated poses, finding your neutral pelvis. So you're not completely flat and you're not overly arched. It's about the midway point between both of those positions. Now we're going to start to tip it from side to side. So feel your right hip get really heavy into the mat. Your left might lift a little bit. And switch to the other side. This is very gentle, so you might see Alyssa's hips moving a tiny bit here, but really it's an internal feeling. As you push one hip into the mat, the other just lifts by default. And then switch to the other side. Trying to bring your breath into it. Maybe you inhale as you push down to one side, and exhale as you switch the sides that you push. Just waking up your hips, feet are both heavy into the mat still, shoulder blades heavy into the mat. Breathing here 2 more times. Over to one side and the other, and back over to the first side and the other. Letting your arms come out long beside you. We're going to start with some hip folds. So I want you to think about where you're heavy into the mat, root your tailbone down firmly, still in that neutral pelvis, back to center, and you're going to push down firmly into your tailbone, lift your right leg up. Knee stays bent, your knee comes to just above your hip fold here as you let it come back down to the mat. We're going to do the other side now. Push in and lift your left leg up. Knee comes just above your hip, beautiful, staying bent at 90 degrees, and lower it back down. We're going to inhale to prepare here. Exhale, lift your right leg. Inhale as you lower it down. Exhale, lift the left leg. Feeling your abdominals start to wake up a little bit. Maybe you're pulling in and wide. Keep going here. Lift the right. Belly button maybe comes a little bit closer to your spine and upwards towards your ribs. As you're feeling the hip joints start to wake up, abdominals start to move, heavy through the backs of your shoulders still. Beautiful. 1 more each side. Lift the left, lower it down, and the right. Lower it back down. From here, you're going to take your arms, put them behind your head, let your head rest heavy in your arms, in your hands like a hammock. Elbows are wide, only visible in your peripheral vision. You're going to tuck your chin, lift your shoulder blades slightly off the mat, ab curl, and lower back down. Beautiful. Lift up, gaze comes towards your belly button, and you lower back down. Inhale, prepare, exhale as we lift. Lower back down. Maybe you inhale on the lower, exhale, lift up again. Using your breath, elbows stay wide again, reminder here. Heavy through the tailbone, inhale, lift, beautiful. Lower, few more here. lift. Really think about pulling your belly button in and wide across your belly. Couple more, lift and lower, elbows super wide. If you can tuck your chin a little bit more, your gaze is coming towards your pelvis. Beautiful. Last one here like this, lift up and lower down. So we're going to bring into what we did before with our hip fold. So I want you to lift your right leg and then lift your left leg. Both legs are going to be folded up in the air. Beautiful. And we're going to bring back our ab curl. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, lift, look at your pelvis. And lower. Elbows are really wide. Think about them coming out even further. Exhale as you lift and lower very slowly here. So lift and lower. Beautiful. Feel each spinal vertebrae come down to the mat every time you lower. Knees are just above your hips. Belly button is pulled in. Breathe. You're lifting just your shoulder blades slightly off the mat as you come up. Tuck your chin. Look towards your belly button. 2 more like this. Lower it down. In exhale, bring it up. For 2. Inhale to lower. For 1. And we hold at the top here. You're going to do tiny pulses. Just pulse up, up, up. I know you feel the heat starting to build in your belly a little bit. Use your breath here every time you pulse. Exhale out audibly like you're blowing out little candles. For 6, breathe. 5, 4, keep going. 3, 2, 1. Lower down, let everything go. Legs come down, head lowers down to the mat. Beautiful. Take a deep breath. We're not done yet with this section. You're going to bring both legs back up. Bring your head into your hands like the hammock again, elbows wide. Lift your head, neck, and shoulders off the mat. Pause here. We're going to prepare ourselves for crisscross. As your right leg comes out and long, your left elbow twists. Beautiful. Back to the center. Twist again. Also known as bicycle and some other movement practices. Crisscross here in Pilates, twist. Elbows stay super wide. Exhaling through center as you breathe and twist to one side. Opposite arm to opposite leg. Twist a little harder. Beautiful. Can you lift your shoulder blades a little bit more? Yes. Inhale through center. Exhale to twist. Inhale. Exhale as you twist. Lift a little higher. Inhale to center. Exhale, twist. 3 more here. Inhale, twist. 2 more. Inhale, twist. Beautiful. Breathing out every time. Last one here. Twisting all the way over. Coming back to center, staying lifted. Lower your head, lower your feet. Nicely done. Feeling a little bit of heat build? Yes, in the obliques and in the belly. So we're going to come over onto our sides. You can choose whichever side you start on first. Alyssa's going to be starting on her left side. So you're just laying down on the mat, feet are out long, hand is planted below you. You're not laying, you're propping yourself up, and both feet are going to root firmly into the mat. Hand should be directly below the shoulder. You're going to exhale, lift your hips, side plank. If this is too much for you, you can bend your bottom knee and be resting on the mat on your bottom knee, or you can even stagger your feet to have a little bit more support. Or option to place your feet on top of each other or even to float your top leg if you want to feel even a little bit more. So lift your hips a little bit higher. Think about pushing down into the mat, pulling up through your waist. Take a few deep breaths here. Inhaling, check in with your body. Are your shoulders stacked? Are your hips stacked? Can you push a little harder into the floor? Push it away from you as you grow tall in your arms socket. Nice. Breathing here. On your next exhale, you're going to rotate, twist your arm underneath your body, pike your hips up high as you reach as far as you can towards the other side, and come back up. Yes, a couple more of these. Twist down. We're just going to do 4. So this is 2. Reach up tall, pull your hips up as you reach up, pike your hips to the sky as you twist under, reach up a little slower. Last one here. Reach all the way down, pike your hips up as high as you can go. As you reach a little further, arm comes back above you, hips stay high. We hold here for just a moment. Check in with your form one more time. Push the floor away. Hips come up a little bit higher. Feel the heat start to build in your oblique that is closest to the mat, the side body. For 3. Breathe. 2, 1. Lower your knee, lower your hips, lower everything down. We're going to come through center. Pushing your hands up, starting here in a high plank. Before we move on to the other side, we're just going to come into the middle. Both hands on the mat. Pausing through center here just for a moment. Send your feet out long behind you. We come into a strong high plank here, just sort of stabilizing everything. One shoulder was worked, the other one hasn't got its chance yet. You're pushing the mat away. Think about growing tall through your head, long through your spine. Hips come up a little bit higher, so to not dip, but you're not pushing them up too high. This is not a pike, not a downward dog. Just breathe here for a few seconds, stabilizing everything. Push the floor away a little bit further. For 2, breathe. For 1, breathe. Drop your knees, drop everything down. We're gonna come onto our other side now. So if you did your plank with Alyssa on your left, we're gonna do it now on the right side. So legs come out long, hand is directly below your shoulder. You're gonna go strong through your feet, remembering that you have options here if you wanna keep your bottom leg bent and supporting on the knee, or you wanna support on the sides of your feet. Inhale to prepare, exhale, lift everything up, side plank. Beautiful. So remember, our form is important here. Is your hand directly below your shoulder? If not, pull your torso a little bit forwards to be directly over that. Think about pulling your shoulder back in its socket. Shoulders are stacked above each other. Hips are stacked. Strong, pushing the mat away. Pull your waist up a little bit higher. Feel your obliques start to engage and really work to support yourself here. A few deep breaths like this before we twist. Keep breathing. I know it's challenging. If at any time you need to lower your bottom knee for support, please absolutely do so. Maybe you come back up to this position after, maybe you don't. Whatever works for you today. Breathe, push the ground away a little bit more. Inhale together. Exhale together. And we're gonna inhale to prepare. Exhale, twist. Pike your hips up high. Left arm comes down to the floor and rotates all the way up and around. Yes. So as you twist, you're really feeling your obliques turn on. Inhale to prepare. Exhale again. Pike your hips. Reach your arm towards the opposite foot. Open up back through center. 2 more. Breathe in deep to prepare. Exhale. Twist everything around. Pike your hips a little higher. Reach a little bit further. You got this. Breathe. Come back to center. And inhale to prepare. Last one. Exhale. Twist. Really reaching. Pike your hips up and come back to that plank. Holding here just for a moment. Reassessing our body. Are your shoulders stacked? Are your hips stacked? Breathe. Push the floor away for 2. For 1, deep breath in and lower everything back down. I know you're itching for that cue to lower down. So lower everything back down here. Our plank series is finished. We're going to come back onto our backs one more time for a little bit more of a burn on that abdominal section, and then we will be finished. So come to a laying down position again. Feet are bent, planted on the floor. Knees are bent, feet are planted on the floor. And we're gonna come into a double hip fold. So now you're gonna inhale to prepare. Last time we were lifting one leg at a time. This time you're gonna lift both feet into the air at the same time, pushing heavy in through your tailbone. When you're ready, float your legs up. Knees are directly above your hips. Exhale, lower down. Really feeling your belly come tight so your feet aren't flying down to the ground. Controlled lower. So inhale, prepare. Exhale, lift. Push in through your tailbone, lift the legs. Pause here for a moment. Inhaling at the top. Exhale, lower everything down super slowly. Toes come down first. Beautiful. One more time. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, lift everything up. And lower it all down. Beautiful. We're going to inhale to lift and hold this time. Staying at the top here, holding your legs, not holding your breath. Feeling your belly button tuck in a little bit closer to your spine. We're going to get some other moves involved. So lift your head, neck, and shoulders. Arms come long at your sides. As you pull your right shin in towards your body, your left leg comes long. Single leg stretch. And now we switch. Beautiful. You switch which leg you're holding as you extend the opposite one long. Breathing as you do so. Maybe you inhale on one side, exhale on the other, or you inhale every time and you're just exhaling as you switch, breathing a little bit quicker here. We're going to pick up the pace. Switch, inhale, switch, inhale, switch, inhale, switch. Yes, switch, switch for 4, switch for 3, switch, 2, lift the shoulder blades, last one, switch, pause in that double leg up. Lower your head, neck, and shoulders. Lower your feet down to the mat. Beautiful. And a quick little cool down for you. So I want you to take your arms both long by your sides. Bring them up above you. Your biceps come towards your ear. Maybe your palms hit the mat or the floor above your head. Exhale, bring those down. We're gonna just roll our shoulders out a little bit like this. A few times after the plank, sometimes they can be a bit tight. So inhale, bring them up high above your head. Filling up at the top. Exhale, lower them back down towards your sides, sweeping them down for arm arc. Reach your fingertips long the whole time. Inhale, lift them up above your head. Exhale, let them fold down to your sides. And pausing here. So at the start, we rotated our pelvis side to side. We're gonna do that again and just notice how different it feels. So you're gonna just feel heavy into one side of the right hip. Left might lift a little bit. And then switch sides, heavy into the left, the right may lift. So you're going slowly here, or at a pace that feels good for you, cooling everything down. This was a quick little class here. Core hopefully is fired and warm, and you're feeling those moves that you did. Just think about tilting it, cooling the body down in the same way we warmed it up. A couple more to the side as you plant one hip in further. The other one might lift a tiny bit, millimeters we're talking. Beautiful. And two more like this. Last one. Pausing somewhere in neutral. And the last thing we're going to do is think about tucking your tailbone down to the mat. Maybe you feel your low back arch even more. And then tuck your tailbone up towards the sky. You might feel your low back flatten into the mat. So we're just taking a moment, letting our bodies come back to where they were in this quick practice. Two more like this. Just tuck your tailbone up towards the sky and down towards the mat. One more time together, up towards the sky and down towards the mat. Let your feet come out long, arms come out long beside you. Same way we started the class, you can close your eyes or keep them open, whatever the option is yours. You're just gonna inhale together. And exhale the whole class away. Thank you so much. That is it for this movement session. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see you next time.